Yo, I want to welcome everybody back to the Prolification podcast. As I said last episode, I'm keeping up with the consistency. It's really one of the biggest things that I want to be able to say I stay true to, be honest in, and be genuine for. You get what I'm saying? Like, I really want to, do what I say I'm going to do. So I'm really being consistent with the content, really being consistent with the posting, really being consistent with the messaging. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, if y'all get value from this, I really, want y'all to take away from what y'all can and, act on what y'all will. So, the first thing I want to say is I want y'all to follow the Prolification Podcast Instagram page, which is @_prolification. I also want y'all to subscribe to the Prolification Podcast YouTube channel, which is, if you type in Prolification Podcast, it'll most likely pop up. But other than that, I want to get into today's episode, which is, as you saw in the title and as you saw in the description, called Proximity, and about the power that you have over direct influence in your life, right? A lot of us, since we were younger, we've always had what we like to call people as friends, right? And I want y'all to, just evaluate how you've acted on those so-called friends from childhood to adolescence to adulthood. Because me personally, the way I was raised, it was really emphasized heavily for me to not only understand what a friend was, but also be able to recognize what a friend isn't, right? And so with that being said, I kind of want to just break down a definitive, definition for a friend. So then that way, going forward, we'll know what a friend is versus what a friend isn't. So if you Google the definition of friend, it says a person whom one knows and with whom one has a bond of mutual affection, typically exclusive of sexual or family relations, right? So we gonna stand on that definition. We're gonna use the one from Google. It says a person whom one knows and with whom one has a bond of mutual, right? Because that's a key part. Mutual affection, typically exclusive of sexual or family relations, right? And I just want to break that down real quick before we get into the messaging, right? A key component of that definition was mutual. It was mutual, right? You have a mutual bond of affection with that person. And a lot of people don't understand that to be a friend to someone, it has to be mutual. A lot of times I find people or I see people, myself included at one point, I was in relationships, platonic relationships with people, but the affection and the admiration and the want to see succession of the other wasn't as mutual as it should have been, at least in my opinion, right? If we're going to go by definition terms, it was not as mutual, right? And I know a lot of y'all could probably think back to a person who you thought y'all was real cool with or you thought you had a real good bond with, but when push come to shove, they weren't really doing friend shit, right? And that's just reality. We gonna keep it a buck. They weren't doing friend shit, right? And so by understanding what a friend should be, now we know what a friend shouldn't be. A friend shouldn't be one who's envious or one who's jealous or one who hate on you when you see success or when you see progress or something you care about or got going on for yourself. A friend shouldn't be one that puts you down. Ties back into episode 5. If you haven't listened to it, go listen to it now. About constructively criticizing people, right? A friend should know how to talk to you in which they make you feel loved and cared for, right? A friend should know how to act with you, right? And don't get me wrong, it varies from how long you knew somebody or how comfortable you are with said friend, but a friend should know at least how to respect your boundaries and your person, right? And I really want to talk to y'all about the importance of your circle, of those friends. I'm gonna call it a wolf pack because I can't remember where I saw it at. Let me think. It was okay. I believe I saw a clip from Kevin Samuels. Now, if y'all know who Kevin Samuel is, then you know what you know. But I saw a clip from him when he was talking about finding your wolf pack, right? And that's just a small group of people who you share a common denominator of like-mindedness, to where now in that aura or that circle that you have built, your dreams, your admiration, your goals, your desires, they can live healthily. You know what I'm saying? So you really got to understand why it's important to really focus and take pride in the circle that you build, right? And the reason why it's so important is the energy that the circle is going to bring to you, right? Because a lot of people, where we at now, at least where I'm at now, the people I have around me throughout the day, or the people I have around me when I'm in my most vulnerable states of mind, of emotion, of physical being, they have to constantly, or I'm not gonna say constantly, but they have to consistently embed good energies around me because those energies are contagious. Right? I know y'all could probably relate or name a person when y'all around them, like it just boosts y'all up. For me, a quick example of that would be my best friend Cordell. I have a lot of brothers, I have a lot of best friends and stuff like this, but when it comes to a person who every time I'm around them the energy is up, is Cordell, right? I met him my freshman year. We still friends to this day, really getting into adulthood. But when I'm around him from then we was in high school to now when we in our own lives, every time I'm around him, the energy is up. Like it's just the energy is where I want it to be. It makes me comfortable to, be myself, to be honest with myself, to, joke around, to be serious, to talk about real shit, to talk about irrelevant, frivolous shit, or whatever the case may be. Right? And so what you have to do, or what you have to learn to do, is identify people who have complimenting promise to you, right? Because what the thing about being a friend is about being mutual to that person and that person being mutual back to you. So when you find people with those mutual promises to whatever it is in life that you want to prioritize, that's how you build your circle. Because the energy you put around you can ultimately determine how far you get, right? In the description, I said it will, pull up. No, not in the description, but in a post that I made the other day, I said it'll really push the potential of your ceiling tenfold, right? The energy and the people you surround yourself by, right? So when you got a friend group or you got a number of friends, maybe about four to seven. That's a good number. About 4 to 7, 3 to 7 friends or 3 to 7 people who really, when you're around them in group settings and one-on-ones and two-on-twos and whatever the case may be, the energy that they bring to you is always uplifting. Never, deteriorating or never demoralizing. Because those are the circles you want to stay away from, right? The motivation they bring you is also a big point that you want to, make sure you have at all times. Because I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I get into modes to where I'm working on something, I might feel burnt out. I might feel, alone, right? And I call somebody like my brother Jordan, right? Or Jason or Steven or somebody like that. And if y'all don't know, those are people who are like hold real, intimate and potent parts and relationships in my life. They serve that for me at times, right? And I could call them and I could really talk to them and be like, bro, I'm working on this, bro, but I ain't gonna lie, like this shit is getting on my nerves, bro. It's like it's beating me like damn. And I know when I talk to them, bro, they're gonna be like, bro, Keys, bro, understand, bro, you got it, bro. You just gotta keep working on it, bro. It's gonna get easier if you keep doing it. It's gonna get easier if you keep doing it. Or a lot of this is a part of the process, bro. They sympathize, they empathize, and they connect with me. And then next thing you know, I called them, right? And there was a point where they was motivating me. Now I'm motivating them because the bond and the care for each other is mutual. Because we both want to see each other succeed, right? Those things get embedded into those, conversations. Naturally, we got people of like-mindedness. That's why we go back to really taking the time to really strategically construct the people you place yourself around, right? Because the value you're going to get from those people, it's like it can either be up or down. It can either be great or, it can either be great or it can be ass. I'm going to be honest. It can be great or it can be ass, right? And that's why you really got to, put into that with true like focus, bro. Like a lot of people, they don't really protect who they bring around or who they have in their spaces, and you can see that. You have been outside and you saw somebody like, okay, I'm recognizing how they interacting with each other outside, and I don't like how they doing that. I often hear my friends or hear people, when they outside, they shunning their friends, quote unquote. Or I see them, disrespecting or putting down their friends, quote unquote, and I just be like, wow, like I'm glad I know what a friend is because now I know what I would like to stay away from. You following? So things like that are really important because those negative influences will really like push you down. And you gotta know friends should be pushing you. Like I'm reading a book right now. It's called The Way of the Superior Man, right? And I would encourage everybody to read that book, man. Or it says Superior Man, but women can learn a lot from that book because it allows you to understand like how men may behave or the reasons why men may do what they do. And it's good for men because it's going to tell you why you may do what you do or think how you think or feel how you feel. It may answer a lot of questions. Let me say that. Right. And a chapter that they had in there was about the importance of knowing your friends because your friends should be ones that push you to your edge comfortably, but not, overbearingly, right? And when I say that, I mean, I'm gonna give an example for myself. Or, should I give an example for myself or should I give an example in general? I guess I gotta bond with the people sometimes. Okay. Um, let's see. Okay. At one point, I would have called myself extremely antisocial, right? Growing up, I would call myself an introvert who just could thrive in extroverted settings, right? And so, at one point, it was where I really would go places and I wouldn't talk to people, right? Unless they talk to me first, or I would prefer to be by myself, or I would prefer to really, just not really kick it with people who I didn't care for, who I didn't know, right? And so, my close friends, family to me, Jason and Jordan, right? They really brought me into a space with other people who I could benefit from, just building relationships with, right? And they'd be like, Keys, bro, look, I know how you is, you know what I'm saying? I just want you to, get out here and mingle with people and just learn and don't be opposed to that. You know what I'm saying? I know you can talk to people and, people gonna rock with you, they gonna fuck with you regardless, but I really want you to take the time to get into it. You know what I'm saying? And so once they did that and put me in those settings and they kind of talked to me and, just prepped me up and just gave me an expectation that they wanted to see if I could meet or not, I respected what they wanted from me as a friend. I respected what I wanted for myself as a human being, as a person. And I really acted to work towards the expectation, not only for them, but really for me. And by doing that, it allowed for me to build bonds and get to know people and meet people who now I look at with the utmost endearment because I allow for them to, really get into my space. And now we're going to go back to the principle of having friends who are going to push you to your edge respectfully, right? Because in those situations, a friend may be like, man, bro, you don't got to do anything. You cool where you at. You right? And that's respectful, but are they challenging me to be better? Are they challenging me to grow? Are they challenging me to, step out of my comfort zone a little bit to a place where I'm not going to hurt myself by stepping out? And the worst that can happen is me exposing myself to something that I did not know about before, right? So pushing you to your edge, that's where a lot of people find the comfort in when it comes to interacting with friends. And they really find that place where they can learn, right? You always hear people talking about getting out of their comfort zones, but it's easier said than done, and it's hard to do when nobody's there to push you outside of the comfort zone, right? How many times have you said you wanted to do something, but you ain't had nobody to really remind you to do it or to, encourage you to do it, so it never got done? So the same way that happens, the same way they do it with friends. And you gotta make sure your friends are great people, because when you have the right type of friends or the right type of circle around you in your proximity, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, they're going to allow for you to be honest with yourself, right? Don't be in a friend group to where you can't really say like, oh yeah, I'm afraid of heights. I'm afraid of heights, and because they gonna clown on you at the Six Flags when you all get next to the roller coaster, they gonna clown on you. So you don't want to say you're afraid of heights. You really got to get to a point where you are honest with yourself, and your friends can allow you to be honest with them, so then y'all can respectively maneuver around each other's boundaries. And don't get me wrong, I gave the height example just because that's something that you can visualize. But I remember I went to Six Flags with some of my friends. I think this was some years ago, and they asked me like, "Are you afraid of roller coasters?" I'm like, "No, I'm not afraid of roller coasters." They like, "Bro, like why?" And I was like, the reason I gave them, I was like, when you think about it in real life, when you get to the top of the roller coaster, that first drop, it's only about 5 seconds, bro. That first drop is only about 5 seconds in time. So I had to really ask myself. I told him, I'm like, bro, like, can you not survive 5 seconds of adrenaline or 5 seconds of oh, I feel like I'm falling out of the sky. Can you not survive 5 seconds of that? And so I kind of adopted that philosophy with a lot of things that I do, a lot of practices that I, entertain. And from there on, it kind of, in that day, it kind of allowed for us to really just push our limits. We was getting on every ride we could, which whatever roller coaster we saw that looked cool, it don't matter if the color scheme was wrong or if the thing was, we was getting on everything, because once we established that idea of, okay, it's only 5 seconds of fear, or it's only 7 seconds of, I feel like I'm falling out the fucking sky, it allowed for us to really, get to a place where it was, all right, cool. Right. And so what they do, or what the circle you build around you is supposed to do, is supposed to prevent isolation and loneliness. Right. And it's supposed to give and offer you a chance at companionship that'll make you more comfortable. Right. It's supposed to increase your sense of belonging and purpose. It boosts your happiness and, do away with your stress. Right. Because the energy is contagious. So when you get around these people that you call your friends, they shouldn't make you feel more lonely. They shouldn't make you feel more stressed out. They should be easing you. A lot of people want to go out with their friends to get away from stress of being by themselves, right? And that's why the people you place around you in life will really help you get to a point where it's like, okay, cool. Like where am I most comfortable at? Right? What do I need to be doing? And I really want y'all to, prioritize that when you are picking your friends. Make sure they are the ones who don't make you feel excluded. Make sure they aren't the ones that don't make you feel unheard. Make sure they, make you or help you build confidence in your voice, or in your person, or in your activity, or in your life in general. Because a lot of people, we work to have friends, or we value the time we spend and invest in people. So a lot of the friends that we want to have, we like the idea of, oh, you've been my friend for 10 plus years, or I've known you since the 5th grade, or I've known you since high school. I'm 21 now, and I knew you since I was 10 years old. We value that time, because it shows how long we've been able to, test and, succeed and pass trial, tribulation, failure, success, stifleness, progression. It shows how much we've been able to, overcome together, right? So when we doing this, who do you want to be overcoming with, right? Because I hate for it to get to a point to where you went through a lot with somebody who wasn't worth it, and now you're like, damn, I kind of wasted that time, right? Because that's one thing I really understood, like, early, right? And I was kind of having this conversation with, I think it was it an older relative of mine? I can't really remember, but I was telling them why sometimes the loss of a friend is more detrimental to the loss of a family member, because at the end of the day, I went out and picked my friends, right? I knew that early. I'm going to pick my friends. I'm going to pick the people I want to hang around, right? And so that means if I picked you and something bad happened to where we had a falling out or it didn't work out, I take it a little bit harder, because it's like, damn, it was an error in my decision making. That's how I was looking at it when I was younger. Like, damn, if I picked you as a friend, if I thought you was gonna be my friend, and something, you showed yourself to me and some shit went down and it didn't line up how I want to line up, I was upset with myself, because I'm like, damn, I picked that motherfucker, didn't I? Damn, that shit tough. Like, I really used to think like that, bro. So, and I'm not saying I don't think like that now, but it's how I was moving when I was younger, and it's like it holds true today. You know what I'm saying? You ever like look back and be like, damn, I don't even talk to that person anymore, and you be like, damn, but I was kicking it with them every day at one point. Like, damn, I really wasted that time with them. Them memories serve no purpose in current day, right? And that's what I kind of want y'all to really avoid by making sure you put a little bit more effort into who you allow in your space, who you invite out to kick it with you, who you spend your time with, in your recreation, right? Because all those negative parts and those negative influences, you want to stay away from those. And I want to hit y'all with, so I have a quote of my own, but this is something that I'm thinking about it. This is something I saw years ago. It was a 50 Cent like video, and he said that you'll only be as successful as the people you talk to the most, right? And that hit me so hard, because I got introduced, or I saw the video right before I got into the space that I mentioned previously in the earlier in the episode, when I was talking about Jason and Jordan putting me in places to where I could, meet like-minded people, right? And so networking and building your circle with people who you see value in or truth to or, promise with is so important, because you'll be surprised at how easily you can make your life by meeting the right people or talking to the right people or knowing the right people, right? But you also got to be aware and acknowledging of how hard you can make your life by subjecting yourself to the company of the people who don't deserve your presence, really. And that's something I'm really trying to double down on as a 21-year-old black man, like understanding the promise that I have for myself, right? The value that I want to be giving myself as much as I can, because sometimes, whether we want to face it or not, we're not as consistent or we're not as, diligent as we want to be. So sometimes we need those external forces to be, promising or valuable to us, right? Because if I don't have it 100% of the time, if I only have it 75% of the time, I need some type of energy or some type of force to be giving it to me the other 25%, or at least another 15%, right? At least another 15%, because what we all have bear witness to is, if you have a ratio of good to bad and it's 5-1, those 5 could be so strong, but that 1 can be so devastating that it'll just undermine the 5. So when I live now, when I act now, when I move now, it's really with that in mind. Like, okay, cool. I have to be very considerate of what I'm doing, because I know anything bad could ruin my mood. It could ruin my day. So I surround myself around people and entities and forces and presences that I know won't do that. I'm not gonna lie. Certain people I don't even talk to anymore, because I understand what type of value they're gonna bring me. I won't even hang around them because I already know what the fuck is going on. So I don't really want to talk y'all ears off. I don't really want to tell y'all what to think. I just want to give y'all some things to think about. And I'm going to leave y'all with this quote, right? I saw it. I don't know when I saw it, because I have all these quotes in my head. I'm not going to front to y'all. Like, I have so many, you feel me, one-liners in my head. I don't be knowing where I be getting them from or when I see them. I used to just write them down. But the one that I'm going to leave y'all with today, it says, "I'm not afraid of losing. I'm just afraid of having the wrong people around me when I'm winning." Right? I'm not afraid of losing. I'm just afraid of having the wrong people around me when I'm winning. And I want y'all to take that, and I want y'all to really sit with that idea of who you have around you, because it could really make or break a lifestyle. It could make or break a lifespan. It could make or break a life minute. Like real life. I want y'all to sit with that and think with that. And I want to wish a positive, pleasant day, night, year, minute, second, month, week to everybody who tuned in today, everybody who support me, and everybody who support themselves. And I want y'all to, not only think about yourself when you act, but think about others when you behave. So I want y'all to leave y'all with that, and y'all be smooth, and I'm out.